So yes, I turned part of my living room into my own little paint booth. I covered the walls and floors with painter's plastic, put down a tarp, brought in my lights and a work table because these two end tables were about to get a complete makeover. So both of these end tables have had their day. I've had them for a couple of years. I think I got them from Ross for about $39 a piece, and I had them in my living room space. So these need to be renovated, either renovated or gotten rid of. And since I'm one that believes in changing what you already have to stay within a budget, and then plus I really like them a lot, but these are not actual full chrome, as though I thought they were. Apparently they're just metal tables, okay? And the inside of them, I could actually see that it's starting to fade out on the inside portions of it. So I'm going to paint them. But the first thing I need to do is take the top off. The top is a mirror on the top, so I need to take them loose so that I can just actually paint the tables. And I know you guys are actually already looking and saying, is she about to paint inside? Yes, I am. I'm about to paint inside. I made my own little paint booth. Being in the job, the field that I do, I've seen plenty of paint booths in my time, and I thought about it. I said, you might as well do it because if I go outside, for one thing, it's scorchy hot, and another thing, it's too much traffic all and around, but at the same time, there's a slight little breeze, and that breeze is going to cause my paint to back spray onto me possibly, and maybe onto something else that it should not be on. It's just not in a safe space for me to actually paint outside. But if I paint on the inside, open the window, I have fans located in different zones that will be blowing into the roof so not to blow my plastic off, and open the door a little bit, I can actually paint these. It's not going to take much. It doesn't look like it's going to take much at all to get them done. So I should be able to do it. I started to buy regular black satin paint because that's the color they're going to be. They're going to not be silver anymore. No more chrome look in my living space. But in order to do it, I had to pick between the two. It was either going to be spray painting it or it was going to be brushing the paint. And I started to brush the paint, and I was a little skeptical about brushing because, you know, it has all of these grooves, as you can see, down in the middle of these tables. And I was like, if I brush it, it's a good chance if I miss some spots that I can't see with my naked eye, and you know they're not that good, I'll look around a day or two later after I finish them and realize I've missed spots. And I wanted to get it as much of a professional looking finish as I possibly can. So I decided against using a brush, and I'm going to actually paint them. So what I'm going to do first is take the mirrors off the top, and then I'm going to use this multi-surface. Of course, it's Behr, because Behr is my favorite product. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that's my go-to. So this is Behr Premier Coating. It is stain blocking primer and sealer. So it is for wood, masonry, metal, and drywall. And since these are metal tables, it should work just fine anyway. I personally took one to the store and they personally gave this to me. So it better work. So I'm going to take the mirrors off once again. I'm going to sand them down to get them prepped. And then I'm going to wipe them off and get rid of all of the residue. And then I'm going to apply some primer on top because I want my paint to stick as much as possible on these tables. And then I purchased this instead of a quart of black satin paint. This is the Rust Oleum Painter's Touch ×2 Ultra Copper Paint and Primer. So I got a couple of cans of this. If you guys can see it, I hope I'm holding it right. And I'm going to use this to paint these tables. And then we're going to let them set. And that'll be it. So let's go ahead and get started. And for my sanding, I'm going to use sanding blocks. These are 120 grit that I'm going to use. I tried already to see what it would be like if I use a 220. Way too soft and make me work way too hard. These came in a pack from Amazon, several different kinds inside of one pack. So I'm going to just use this one right here and see what we can get working. And once again, since these aren't actually chrome tables and that original finish was already starting to chip and wear away, I wanted to rough up the entire surface and give that primer something better to hold on to, especially since I plan on keeping these tables for a while and I don't want to go through all of this work just to have new paint start to peel all off all over again. And now on to the second table. They all had like a rustic look, and I would have really loved for the rustic look to stay, but I think I may have a little taste of it, but the rest of it will be gone off because I really did need to prime these down, well, sand them down so that I can make sure that my paint will stick and I won't have no trouble with chipping of paint. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Now once I finished sanding, I went on ahead and wiped down both tables with a damp microfiber cloth to get rid of all of that sanding dust, because I definitely did not want any of that sitting underneath my primer or my paint. Well, it looks like I've torn my plastic, and this is where I realized that I probably should have put something a little sturdier over this folding table, because moving these tables around have already started tearing up my plastic. So a little repair tape and we're back to work. And with all these little bars, corners, and creases, this is exactly why I decided against trying to brush paint all these tables. There are way too many places where I could look back later and realize I missed something, and that would not be cute at all. So roller brush it is. Now it was finally time for the part that I'd been waiting for, the paint. And once I started spraying, I knew immediately I had made the right decision to not try to brush all of this on. The spray was getting into all of those little corners and creases, and I was getting a much smoother, more even finish than I could have ever imagined getting if I was to brush around every part of this frame. And I definitely should have put something sturdier on top of this folding table, because between moving all these tables around, now the paint is sticking to the plastic. This setup was starting to work my last nerves. And of course, as you can see, I learned my lessons from that first table. I was not about to fight that plastic again. So I tore open a paper bag, yes I did, and laid it across the top. Problem solved. And here they are completely dry with the mirrors back in place. I really did like some of the rustic look they had before, but I'm glad that I went ahead and changed them. The black completely refreshed them, and now I can really see the geometric design. Same table, just a whole different look. And if you want to see how they look once I put the entire living room together, check out my full living room transformation. I'll have that linked for you in the description. Until next time, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what I have coming to you next. And thank you so much for watching. D makes it make sense, and have a great day.